Well, I've been trying to build a robot that walks out of cardboard, rubber band driven, using a little USB fan motor. I've went through about 4 major revisions so far. No success. I've got this robot, a Saturn, I think's what it's called, robot, from about 1980, sometime around 80. And it's got the mechanism that actually that I've opted to go for on this larger size cardboard robot I'm building, which involves little wheels on the feet, and basically the legs each leg just moves forward and back with no upward movement whatsoever, and the foot pivots up and down some, which you can see on my latest leg for my cardboard one. I had added wheels on it yesterday and had it to where it would pivot, rolls nice and easy, but as it tried to walk, it just, I don't know, it would more or less waddle in place back and forth. So now I could hold the housing of the cardboard box, like I could hold it right here and keep it stable as the legs was on there, but it would just want to go like this when I turned the loose of it. So to get the forward momentum, I'm gonna have to figure out another design. I changed the crank size or whatever, the distance. I shortened it. But before I had one on this, on a gallon jug lid, and that was just too far movement. I'm gonna try to go with shorter movements to give more power. Try to make it do what this does. I'm gonna take this apart, see how it's made inside, because I can't find anything online with one of these taken apart to see how the legs, or not just one of these, any of these, a bunch of Japanese robots this design that work this way. I had 2D batteries that was about 10 years old or older, and oddly enough, thing's working. Batteries are weak, but you can see it is working. Those lights have lit up now, are activated, and I stuck the batteries juice. So I'm gonna try to fix it to where it might use double A batteries. I don't really know why D batteries. I guess the lights pull a lot of amps, is why it's got D batteries, but milliamp hours, whatever. But So I might just try to make it work with C's, since I don't have any good D's. Well, I'm fixing to clean this up, put it back together now that I see how to do my cardboard one, sort of. But this thing here, that gear is not touching the bottom gear, which you know moves the legs by ways of that shaft right there. But anyway, seems like there's more going on here than meets the eye, because that gear there does not touch the gear that moves the legs. There's a spring in there, and that shaft moves when it spins up to speed and activates the legs, and a wire connects to these lights, which as you can see, the contact on it is that same shaft that the gear that drives the legs. And that gear moves back and forth, I guess from centrifugal force, throws it to the left side of the robot, activating the legs ever so often. What pushes it back to the other side, I don't understand, but it seems to be working. Other than the connectors are probably dirty, and I'm going to clean them off with some metal glow and stuff, and put this Saturn robot back together. I hope the arms also connects here to the front of the legs. This right here is the most important part, learning this leg mechanism, which here's your shaft, which is connected all the way across solid to both legs. You've got your shaft here that has a slot going in the front side of the leg, which this would be the front of the robot. Your arms connect to that. Then you've got a I don't know if you can see it right there. There's a metal rod that goes down that connects to these feet. So as the robot moves, the foot will stay in a steady horizontal position, more or less, is what the purpose of that is, to where it can stay on the wheels. The wheels have a weight down in there, because when you got it upside down, the wheels don't catch, but when you got it standing up, the wheels catch, and when you can't roll it backwards, the wheels will only go one direction forward. So that's about the gist of it, of how these Saturn robots work. I'd imagine the Japanese used this all the way back into the, tin robots from back in the 50s and 60s and stuff. I would imagine it's probably basically the same, the way this stuff works. But I can see, after trying to build a robot of my own, that I ran into these same problems that I'm sure some Japanese figured out 60 or 75 years ago. Which is kind of cool to be going through the same, problem solving stuff that they had to go through, which they have, obviously they perfected it. Simple design, but perfected to where it works, Is the reason you don't see robots that the legs lift up off the ground, larger robots. It's because you just can't get no forward momentum, as there's no way to do it on a larger robot using one motor and stuff anyway. And I'm using rubber bands, which even makes it, more difficult, sort of, because these gears really produce a lot more. You're getting a lot more torque at the end than a rubber band will stretch, So it's a challenge, but it's a fun one. Learned a lot. I'm gonna oil this, grease these gears up, and metal glow all the connectors and stuff, and put this thing back together. Hopefully this has helped some people out there that's got the idea to build a robot or whatever. That's the reason I wanted to share this, not only to help me understand it, but to help those that's got the idea of maybe building a robot, tinkering with one of these, restoring one of these, whatever. Well, I got the Saturn 5 put back together, cleaned it up a bit, got the battery connectors, you know, nice and clean. I bought this robot at a flea market, at a vendor's mall actually. It was in a box of toys and crap. I think I gave, it was either a quarter or 10 cents for it. And it's missing a back battery door. Other than that, you know, it's not too bad. It was dirty. Had no idea. I figured I would use it for a project to paint and do something with, but I had no idea that it would be, you know, restorable. Well, I'm building a, you know, the cardboard robot trying to, and I took this apart to try to get some ideas and on how to make the legs work on my cardboard one, and sure enough, it didn't look too bad. I put some old batteries, by the way, Panasonic batteries must be really awesome because these are probably 20 years old and they still had juice in them, so I didn't even have to convert the battery box to double A's, you know, to make it try it out. But I took metal glow, cleaned all the connectors good, and Q-tips, and I used rubbing alcohol to clean some parts, vacuumed it out, and used this white grease on the metal gears, just sprayed a little bit of it in there around that, and you know, the thing actually works pretty cool. It's got a cool image that goes across the screen as it functions. This robot's from around 1980, late 70s, early 80s when they made these. The battery door is what's got the date on it, so it's missing. So I don't know when this particular one's from. It's really cool that it all still works though, being, you know, 35 years old. Actually really cool looking. I'm gonna take him in here and see what he looks like with the lights off. Say one thing, definitely noisy, but that only adds to the coolness. But that's about it. Thanks for watching.